What's good, everybody on YouTube? This is your boy Akil McLeod, and I'm a full-time eBay and Poshmark seller. And in today's video, it's all about Poshmark, and I'm sharing my top 15 sales of 2018. Now, my average sale price on Poshmark is about $18 to $30, but today's video, I'm just sharing some of my higher selling items, and some of those start at $50 and go up to as high as $125. Now, this isn't normal for me. Like I said, my average sale price is like $19, sometimes $30, but I'm just trying to share some of the best moments of 2018 on Poshmark. But if you're interested in some of my lower ended sales and some sales that was a complete bust, let me know in the comment section and I'll share some of those as well. But I think this type of video could be a lot more helpful, especially if you're just getting into reselling. So if you guys are interested in these kind of videos, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos. And without further ado, let's just get right into it. Alright, y'all, so starting things off is this pair of New Balance 999s. And this is actually 2-in-1 because this was one of the very few bundles that I actually sold. I was asking $39 for these sneakers, and the buyer came in and they bundled both of these shoes together and basically asked me to take basically just $10 off of both. So it's basically two shoes for $80, and I happily accepted that offer and shipped them out, and it worked out just fine. So this was one of my first bundles that I was able to sell, and definitely one of the best flips that I've had, because I think I paid $6 or $7 for these shoes, and then I got these shoes from the UGG outlet factory in Ventura, and I think I paid $14 for these. So definitely some good profit was made on both shoes, and just a good flip overall. Next is this pair of 34 Heritage jeans, and these were brand new with the tags. The photos are actually a little blurry here because I cross-listed these from eBay, and I literally just screenshotted the photos from eBay and posted it here on Poshmark. So that's why the photos are a little blurry, but it still ended up selling for $59. Originally I was asking for $69, so I took $10 off. And like I said, another good flip. And these pants were actually these were actually gifted to me, so all profit here. Here's another pair of Hoka 11s, one of my favorite shoes to sell, and these sold for my full asking price of $69. And the only weird thing about this is, as you guys can see from the photos, these shoes were in really good condition, very clean. Just some little normal signs of wear on the bottom and stuff like that, as you can see right here. But when the person left feedback, they basically said the shoes were in terrible condition. But they left feedback like 4 to 5 weeks after the sale was already completed. So that was a little weird, but these things are going to happen. Sometimes you're going to get, feedback that you don't necessarily agree with on Poshmark, but these things happen just like in any other business. Next up is this vintage Levi's trucker jacket, and this is actually the first one I sold. I actually sold the other one on eBay for a little more money because that one was in better condition. But this sold over the summer for $69. The funny thing is I was expecting to make a little more on this, but because I picked it up over the summer and it was out of season, I had to take what I can get. But like I said earlier, on Poshmark, the average sale price, at least for me, is anywhere between $19 to $30. So anytime I make a little more than that average is always a good flip for me. And I've only paid, I think, $9 or $10 for this jacket. Next is another jacket that I paid maybe $9 or $10 for, probably $8.99 from my Goodwill. And no, this was actually on a half off day, now that I remember. So I only paid $4 for this jacket. And this one sold for $69. I was originally asking $89, but I think I just had it for a while, so I was just trying to get rid of it. And it sold for $69, so I took $20 off, so that wasn't too bad. But still a lot of profit was made because I only paid $4 for this jacket. And it's just good to know that UGG pieces, besides the shoes, it does sell for decent money. So definitely be on the lookout for UGG clothing if you can see it, especially some of their waxed jackets. Here's another pair of boots that I sold. These were brand new. I don't think I included the box. I don't think I had the box for these anymore. But these sold for $69. As always, anytime I use stock images, I like to include the actual photos as well, just so that the buyer knows exactly what they're getting. And at first I had the stock images as the default, and I guess I was still getting some likes and a decent amount of traction, but there was still no offers. So once I put the actual photos as the cover page, that's when it actually sold. So if you guys are experiencing slow sales because you're using stock images, just switch up the order and put the actual photos as the cover photo, and that might actually help sales. Here's another pair of boots. These are from Woolridge, and these were brand new with the tags as well. And I had these for maybe about 9 or 10 months. I've had these boots, and I paid up for these. I remember spending about $25 for these boots, but it sold for $70. At first I was asking $79, but it was still a very good flip for me. I just wish it sold a little faster. But like I said, Woolridge boots are very quality winter boots, and if I was selling it now, I probably would make a little more money since we're really in the thick of winter. But still a very good flip. Next is one of my first sales on Poshmark. I started selling on Poshmark in April, so as you guys can see, this one was sold in May, and this sold for $75. The only downfall to this sale was that the package was lost, so it never got to the buyer. But of course, anytime packages get lost in the mail, Poshmark covers you and the buyer. So I was able to still get that money. Only unfortunate thing is that the buyer actually never got this scarf. Well, maybe they did and the tracking just got lost or mixed up or something. So I don't know. I didn't get any feedback or no comments were left. So I'm just happy I still got the money. Next are these Pistolero Cowboy Boots, and these were probably one of the most unique items I found this year, and I was able to flip for some good profit. I picked this up from a church yard sale, and I only paid, I think, $6 for these boots. And they needed some cleaning when I picked them up. They were kind of dusty and had some spider webs on them, so I just cleaned them up a little bit. I didn't do too much to it because I didn't want to damage this ostrich skin. But I was asking $89, and someone sent me an offer for $75, and I happily took that. So definitely still some good profit was made with these. And like I said, I usually sell items on Poshmark anywhere between 19 and like $30. So anytime I make, 50 or more, it's a very good flip for me on Poshmark. Next up is another pair of Frye Boots, and I love selling Frye Boots. I sell maybe 3 or 4 Frye shoes each month. I tend to find them a lot in my thrift stores. And these were in really good condition, as you can see from the photos. And these sold for $79. I was asking $79, and the person just came in and purchased them right away, no problems. And it just made me think I probably priced them a little too low. But as you go, you kind of learn and figure things out. So if I was to find these boots again, I'd probably price them a little higher. But like I said, I'm still very glad that I was able to get $79 for these shoes, and I believe I spent $15 on those. Next up is this Wilson's leather duffel bag, and this was one of my first Poshmark sales as well. This was back in May, and this was a gifted item as well. I get a lot of gifts because I used to blog and stuff like that on my fashion blog, but I kind of retired from that, so I still get a bunch of free clothes and free shoes. And this was a free item that I got from a brand, and I never really used it. I just used it for photos one time, and that was basically it. So this sold for $100 on Poshmark. I had it listed on eBay for almost a year, and it was not getting any traction, any watchers, nothing. So I was just happy that it sold here on Poshmark for $100. And here's another item that I was able to flip here on Poshmark for $100, and these were brand new with the box as well. And just a really good sale for me. Like I said, I don't sell a bunch of high profit margin items on Poshmark. I like to go with the quantity aspect of Poshmark, where I make a bunch of smaller sales. But this was a very good flip for me. This was sold back in November. Next up is this vintage Patagonia fleece. I remember finding this in the thrift store, and it was a very busy day in the thrift. There were a lot of other resellers in there, and they all passed on this for some reason. It's almost like they didn't recognize that it was Patagonia. This person didn't didn't send me an offer or anything like that. They just bought it flat out. So that was really good for me. And I had it listed on eBay as well, and I had a couple offers on there, but nothing close to $119. So I believe I paid $5 or $6 for this sweater and flipped it for $119. And here's a pair of Ultra Boosts that I was able to get from Crossroads. I traded a bunch of just some stale inventory that I had sitting around, and I traded up for this pair of Ultra Boosts. This was back in September. The Ultra Boost wave is kind of dying, so I'm not really seeing a lot of Ultra Boost sell for anything more than $100 anymore, especially on Poshmark. So I think these sold at the perfect time for me. But this was a very good sale. I think in all I traded, I think 3 or 4 shirts and a pair of pants for these, and all of those items were just sitting around for at least 6 months or more. So I was able to trade up for that. And last but certainly not least is this pair of Chloe knee-high boots. And to this day, this is still the highest selling item that I sold on Poshmark for $125. I was originally asking $120. I think I was asking $139 for these boots, but they ended up selling for $125. And the buyer was definitely happy with this after they sent me some feedback. Because of the style of boot, I was a little nervous if it would fit, but it clearly fit the buyer just right. And just one of my favorite sales on Poshmark overall. We'll see what else I find in 2019 to see if I can beat this $125 price point. But definitely one of my favorite sales here on Poshmark. Alright y'all, that's all I have for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed that one, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos. And if you had any comments or any questions, definitely drop it in the comment section. I'll get back to you guys as soon as possible. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.